Hey guys, I'm Mike Trump, Director of Maintenance with Turbo Terminal Tractors. If you're watching this video, thank you for trusting Turbo with all your terminal tractor needs. Today we're going to be doing a brief driver orientation of this Tico Pro Spotter. Okay guys, the first thing we're going to do in our walk around and orientation is we're going to do a brief check for physical damage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the structure of the cab for any physical damage, making sure my window or windshield is not obstructed or broken. And then I'm going to check for any suspension issues. I'll make sure the truck is not leaning left or right one way. That could indicate we have a suspension problem. From there, I'm going to look visually underneath the truck and make sure we don't have any drips, drops, or leaks that could indicate we have a leak from coolant, oil, or fuel. We want to make sure those are taken care of at this time if we have them. From there, we'll walk around the corner of the vehicle, making sure everything is secured and not damaged. We want to check our tires at this time, make sure they're properly inflated and we have enough tread. You can also check the fluid level of the hub right here and make sure that it is at the proper level. We'll continue our walk around. We'll make sure that everything is securely attached. You can see your fuel filters right here, and this is your diesel fuel tank, not to be confused with the DEF fluid. This is for your diesel exhaust fluid. That's notated by a blue cap. From there, we're going to continue over, make sure our mud flaps are in good condition, and we'll check these tires as well for proper inflation and for proper wear. Coming around the rear of the vehicle, make sure our mud flaps are securely attached, and we'll also check underneath at this time to make sure we don't have any fluid leaks from the rear of the vehicle that could indicate a differential leak. Coming around the passenger side, again, we'll check our mud flaps, flex fenders, and tires for proper inflation and wear patterns. The next thing we'll see is our hydraulic fluid tank. We want to make sure it's securely attached, and we want to make sure that our fluid is in the proper level. You can see that by this sight glass right here. We have our battery box. We want to make sure it is secured and connected, and then make sure there is no damage or physical obstructions to your exhaust system. Your air filter is also very important. You want to make sure that it is securely attached and that it is not broken. This cover is attached. Again, checking your tires for proper wear and inflation, and you can check this hub level right here on this cap as well. Right here you'll find your coolant. This is where you're going to check the proper coolant level. You can see this sight glass here, and you'll check it by shaking this. When you shake it, you should see a bubble right here, and that's going to indicate we have the proper level. From here, we've concluded that it's safe to enter this vehicle, and we'll show you how to check the oil and transmission fluid before we do so. Okay guys, another important thing to do before we enter the vehicle is we need to check the oil and the transmission level. You can see right here, they're easily accessible. So you can check the oil levels right here, ensure they're at the proper level, the oil and the transmission, before entering. Once you verify they're at the proper level, it's also a good time to check your air tank drains. You'll notice these two air tank pulls are right here for easy access. There's also one on the other side of the vehicle. It's very important to make sure that those air tanks are drained and all the condensation is depleted from the tanks to ensure proper operation of your air brake system. Okay guys, I want to take just a moment to show you how to raise the cab on your Tico Pro Spotter. First thing we want to do for safe operation is make sure that the area around the cab is clear of any obstructions or people. Once we verify that, there's two buttons here. You've got your cab control here and your lock here. You want to pull your lock first and then to press the switch into the up position. Once the cab goes up, you want to ensure that it goes all the way to the full lock position and then lower it down so that it's locked and secured. In order to lower the cab, we're going to reverse that procedure by picking the cab up just a little, grabbing our lock, and then releasing the button. And that's how you raise the cab up and down on your Tico Pro Spotter. Okay guys, now we're going to enter the vehicle, making sure we have 3 points of contact at all times on the way up. At this time, I'm going to take just a moment to tell you about this door override button. In the event that the driver should get stuck in the cab for whatever reason, whether it be a switch failure or a door actuator failure, someone can activate this door override button, making it easier for the doors to open. Now we'll enter. Okay guys, now that we've entered the vehicle, the first thing we'll do is put our seatbelt on. On the way over, we'll check it for frays or damage and make sure that it latches securely. Then we're going to turn our key into the on position and watch the gauge sweep. Once we have fault lamp illumination and a gauge sweep, we'll continue to turn the key to crank the engine. You'll hear the audible noise, watch the gauge sweep, and see your fault lamp illumination. Then turn the key over to start the engine. From there, we're going to wait on the air pressure to build up to a safe level. And while we're doing that, we're going to start on the left-hand side of our dash, and we're going to check all of our gauges and switches. The first switch on the left is our heated mirror. This might come in handy in cold weather. The next one is your mirror adjustment. You want to make sure your mirrors are properly adjusted for safe operation. Above that, you have all of your spot lamps and your strobe lamp. Make sure that your strobe lamp is operational and all of your work lamps are if they're needed. Your turn signal switch is of course right here on the steering column, and your horn is operational. You have your windshield wipers right here and your washer button. Then your park lamps are to the down position and headlamps are in the up position. This is a good time to check all your gauges again to watch for proper air pressure, and your coolant temperature and oil pressure is right here. Here's your fuel gauge and your diesel exhaust fluid gauge. From here you have your shift selector pad. When you're applying gear, you should put the pressure on the brakes and select your gear. This is your hoist control for your fifth wheel. You hold it down, it will pick your hoist up. Up, it will go down. Here's your parking brake, emergency parking brake, and your trailer air supply. This green knob here is your fifth wheel control, which we'll get to in a moment. You depress that for unlocking the fifth wheel. Then you have your blower motor controls for all your AC. Make sure if you want your air condition on, you have the blue light illuminated. You can select defrost, air vent, or feet from here, and any temperature that you would like to select. This switch is for your door open and your door closed. If you depress the close, it will automatically close the door, and if you open it, it will remain open. Now we're ready to spot a trailer. After we make sure that the trailer is securely connected and we've performed our tug test, it's time to connect our glad hands. So we're going to get out and grab our glad hands here. We have a blue service glad hand and a red emergency glad hand. We also have our green electrical pigtail. So we'll connect those to the trailer and make sure that they're securely fastened. These glad hands are not to be confused with your breakaway system. These are here designed in the event that the driver accidentally leaves these connected and pulls away from the trailer. These glad hands will break away so that it doesn't pull these back into the cab. Once we're securely connected and our tug test has been performed, it's now safe to drive away with the trailer. Okay guys, this concludes our driver orientation and walk around today. Thank you for trusting Turbo Terminal Tractors for all your lease, sales, and service needs. If you need any further service assistance, please reach out to Turbo Service Solutions for any help. Thank you guys and have a great day.